Hey everyone, thank you so much for having me and give me this opportunity to go over the core components of a virtual machine, along on how to leverage them on a business setting. So first, we need to understand what is a virtual machine. A virtual machine is basically a software-based computer that works on or runs on a host machine. So it works exactly the same as a physical computer, meaning that it has their own CPU, programs, storage, etc. Um, the technology behind this that allows for virtual machine creation and management, it's called hypervisor. Hypervisor is in charge of managing the resources that I have on my physical machine or physical server and distributes them across the virtual machine or virtual machines, because the answer is yes. Into one single server I can host multiple servers, multiple virtual machines or virtual servers. Now, one of the technologies or applications that allows this is Oracle VM. When you go into the application and decide to create a new virtual machine, it tells you what components do you want to use. So here comes the part of the core components. You can select the virtual CPU, which is going to impersonate the processing power. You can separate and assign cores from your physical hardware to your virtual hardware. Depending, you can separate one, two, or as many as you need to. The only limitation for this and every single component, it's always going to be the physical limitations of your physical hardware. As long as you stay within those limits, you're totally fine. Now, so you can assign virtual RAM, meaning use some of the physical RAM to run my applications smoothly. If I have virtual storage, which is separating some of my storage to install my operating system and run my applications, and even network adapters to allow internet connection. Now, why this is important and why how we will leverage this knowledge or resources into a business setting. So first thing that we need to understand for virtual machines is that they are isolated. What does this mean? It means that everything that I do on a virtual machine is not going to affect what I do into another or into my physical hardware. Let's say that I'm working on a machine, on a virtual machine that has Linux, for example, and the host machine runs on Windows. Everything that I do on that Linux virtual environment is not going to get reflected other than for resource consumption on the physical computer. So if I work on a text file there, I'm not going to be able to access it from the server. I will need to stay on the virtual environment to keep working on it. Now, how we'll leverage this into a business setting, everything that I just mentioned. We have I will say aspects that will make this easy to understand. So I believe that first and foremost that we need to understand is cost effectiveness. So cost effectiveness, it's so much cheap, or yeah, it's so much cheaper to maintain like one single physical machine that runs multiple virtual machines rather than um, having a huge amount of resources and money spent into maintaining several hardware machines. So that is on one hand. The other hand is the scalability. So in the past, if a company grew, what they needed to do is to spend money into another hardware, into more resources, and have them into a room where the administrator goes and set up everything. Now the administrator can easily go into the server, into the virtual machine, and allocate more resources if they need to. This is great because it also allows you to have testing and development environments that allows you to test your code and any of your features that you attempt to release to your production environment. You can safely test them there. Another thing is that provides business continuity. So in case in an event of an issue, you can easily save backups and you can go back to previous versions to to make sure that the outage time is not that long as if it were on a physical machine where you need to go, for example, and change your disk or any physical component. Now, I've been having the opportunity to try out this on my own on school by creating virtual machines and also using server manager for server administration. So I was able to test out Active Directory, go in and create my own domain controllers, my own users, and assign them their own roles and so on. Working on a virtual lab allow me to safely practice those skills. This we could say that is a demonstration of how virtualization allows to practice and to grow knowledge in a safe manner, because I'm not using an actual hardware to test those abilities. It also connects with the effectiveness terminology that I mentioned. In conclusion, virtualization will be the future of IT world. As we go into the future and modernize, we can see more and more companies adapting this virtual machine aspect, and we should follow their example. Thank you so much for having me here for this opportunity. If you have any follow-up questions, please send them out. Thank you.